Welcome to the Money Making Money podcast.
Yeah.
Back again here with myself, George, Albert. Today we are going to focus mainly on fix and flips. So, George, why don't you go into telling us what a fix and a flip is?
Okay. We're going to get into this right away. I like that intro, man. That was really nice.
He's distracted.
I was distracted because Albert was over here doing what is that? ASMR? And
Yeah.
he's like touching the mic, rubbing it with his beard, trying to put me to sleep. That's
How
why.
was he trying to keep you awake, buddy?
Yeah. Fix and flips. Real simple. I guess the theory behind a fix and flip is very basic, right? You get a house that's messed up, and you're putting some work into it, and then you're going to end up selling it for a higher price.
Okay.
So all of it is going to be dependent on the market conditions, the quality of the house, the repairs that are needed, and so on, right? What we found, though, is that the things to cover, I think that there's enough information out there on the websites that you can look up what in detail is a fix and flip.
Yeah.
The reality of it is that you want to, if you're new to the game, right, you would want to do something that doesn't need a lot of repairs. So as an example, just basic numbers. If you have a home that's $200,000 and that's worth $200,000, you're buying it at let's just say $150, and you know that if you put in $10,000 to $20,000, you'd be into it for $170, and you can push the value to $225. Just as a quick example, just those kind of numbers, that's something that's feasible, and that's not going to work for every market, right? But just in general numbers, you don't want to spend a lot of money on things. So $10,000 to $15,000, depending on what market you're in, is just going to be simple flooring, maybe some paint, and we're talking about like small single family residences, right? So those are just kind of an idea, right? You don't want to get into something that is too crazy, like major holes in the wall. There's foundation issues. There's
Electrical issues, plumbing issues. I mean, I think every a lot of times you get into them and you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. You try to have. I think everybody's got different criteria to what fix and flip is for them, as far as the spread, the margins. We typically try to do, at least it has got to be based on comparables, at least 70 to 60% of the value of the home.
Right.
That gives you a good, if you can get more than that, that's awesome. But that gives you a great point, I guess, to start from.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be pretty much be able to make the repairs and still have some profits.
Where is your ideal location to search out for a potential fix and flip?
When you talk about ideal location, are you talking about like where do we find them, or the area that to do a fix and flip?
I mean, this is going to be viewed by people just not in the Phoenix area. So where would you search for? The internet?
Yeah, of course. Local wholesalers.
Okay.
There's a lot of local wholesalers. The internet, Facebook. There's a lot of.
So that kind of circles back a little bit to your network, maybe.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Is like there's a lot of networking workshops that go around. So attending those is very helpful.
Okay.
So one thing that I noticed is that, and I've heard this from several other of my peers, when you're looking for your first fix and flip, have it be within an area that you're near.
Okay.
You don't want to drive 2.5 hours to go and handle a fix and flip. You want to make it as convenient to yourself as possible because you're the one that's most interested in it. So when you're looking for a property, anywhere within an area that you can drive 20, 30 minutes, that's optimal. That's what we did. And it's helped us out a lot because if at any moment in time we have to go open the house, we have to
do anything, meet the contractor
or something, it's a 30-minute drive. So that's part of the convenience. Yeah, you can go to your local network and find all that, but it's not going to be helpful if it's a property that's 2 hours, 3 hours away, because then all of a sudden just to go there 2 hours and then come back is another 2 hours. You've lost 4 hours. So time is a factor that you have to figure into your fix and flips.
Oh yeah, for sure. Time, depending on what kind of financing you gotta, add that all into what into your profits. You're holding the property, how long you're holding it, how much the repairs are gonna cost. All that stuff is part of the fix and flip, not just finding a property and getting it fixed and putting it on the market.
So you definitely need to dial in your timing.
Timing, financing, time of the repairs, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because so as an example, we're here in the Phoenix market, right? But just a couple of hours north is Flagstaff.
Yeah.
They're impacted by snow. So your construction costs here are one thing, Flagstaff is another thing, and then there's impacts in regards to snow, like the weather out there. That's a real thing, and luckily we're blessed in Phoenix. There's no major weather issues, but up there, you're gonna get hail, you're gonna get snow, you're gonna get all those things, and then construction could be problematic, and to find people to work through that is a challenge. So each area is different.
Okay.
Yep. So are you looking more? Are we going to be asking more of like ABCs? Like how would you break down a fix and flip?
A fix and flip. Just all in general.
In general, right?
Yeah. I mean, how do we get them? Good question. And then the steps that what we take.
Maybe give like your first experience with a fix and flip. Like what you made your first deal, going from there and.
Okay, the triplex.
Yeah, that was our first full experience.
Yeah, so we were looking for a fix and flip as a single-family residence for a long time, and none of them kind of floated our boat.
And fit what we're looking for.
Yeah, and one of the challenges that we had was that the spread was okay, and it was never about the amount of money that we could make at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it was our overall risk.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when we found this triplex, we bought it off of a wholesaler, right?
Local wholesaler here.
Yeah, TTP. So they basically sent it out to us. We found it, and we had the right spread. It was in the right location, and our risk factor was lower. And the reason for the risk factor was that it was a pile of junk. Right, so there was a ton of repairs that needed to be done on the property. It was it needed to be cleared out. Also had to have tenants in there that needed to be that were also below market rents. So it had a ton of challenges on it. But because of the price where it was, you want to tell them the price and go through all that?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we got the property for $140. So we got it for $140,000. So this is a triplex in Phoenix. Normal pricing for those properties were about $325 at the time.
Okay.
So we bought it for $140. So we're already below 50% of the value. Then we took into account how much it would cost us to remove all of the debris inside of the area, how long it would take us to actually sell the property, and also just the tenants, and also to make adjustments to the tenants. So when we looked at those factors, and the area too, because one of the things about it is that when you're doing a fix and flip, $1 million homes are one certain way of doing a fix and flip, and more expensive. Where a single family residence in medium to low income housing is a different expense.
Of course,
Obviously, if you're going high end, right, everything is going to be more expensive. When you're going low to medium housing, it just needs to work.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you obviously want to have some aesthetics to it, so you want it to look nice and feel comfortable for the people that are there, but also you don't want to expend more money for an area that's not worth it. You're not getting any extra value. So we took that into account for that triplex. Immediately we locked up the deal. We closed within a week.
Right away.
Right away. So within that week we closed. Next step,
We had to, give the tenants their 30-day notice. We did that, and waited for that. But we already had the contractor lined up.
tenants were month to month as well.
Yeah,
so,
they were tenants from month to month.
so that was also a benefit.
Yes, I mean that's always a benefit when you're buying. That's something that you gotta because if the place needs repairs and you have a tenant that has a 13-month lease or whatnot, and now you gotta wait, or you have to like do an eviction. I mean, you gotta understand if there's a contract, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, the one we got, they were month to month, so that just makes it easy.
Yeah.
Makes it easier.
Yeah.
So how did you? Sorry to
No,
interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
How did you find your contractor? What networks did you use? Things like that to get them lined up and ready.
Well, first of all, we're Hispanic, so
Yeah.
there's that.
Oh, you
Joking.
found helpers.
Joking.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
No, it was just a contractor that George knew.
Okay. So utilizing your network again.
Exactly. I
again.
was gonna say. I mean, and we're working on some other fix and flips currently
Yeah.
that we've used a different contractor that I met from a regular transaction that I was doing. That a situation came up, the property got flooded, and insurance sent that guy,
Okay.
and I've used him on other projects now. So
Okay.
it's networking and giving out your business cards and taking business cards from contractors.
Yeah, and some of the contractors we've met, we just ask them for pictures of their most updated work, and
Okay.
just to kind of give us an idea of how they do it, right? So because
Yeah.
you don't want to send a certain contractor once again to a multi-million-dollar flip versus another contractor that has only worked on single-family residences and low to median household income. So
So you need to know their work.
right,
Yeah.
Okay.
exactly.
Yep. So then once we, the 30 days were up for the tenants, they moved out.
Then we were looking at all everything in there. We were going, oh
yeah.
my God.
I mean, because the tenants that were living there, one of the tenants was living there for a long time, and he had, accumulated a pile of
Stuff.
pretty much junk. Yeah.
25 years worth. 25 years.
And when he left, obviously he didn't take everything.
Yeah.
Well, he pretty much didn't really take much. So, first step was we had to get that place cleaned up, got somebody to clean it up, and then we can get started on the
on the
remodel.
actual work.
Yeah, the actual work.
Yeah, and so some contractors will take care of the cleanup for you.
Some won't.
We chose to have somebody do it separately just because there was so much junk, just so much junk on there. And then by separating that, we saved ourselves quite a bit of money too on doing that. So,
but yeah, then the contractor went in there, and you gotta understand once you start projects, and I'm pretty sure everybody could tell you this, stuff's gonna come up.
Yeah.
You gotta account for that. Stuff's gonna come up. The dates are gonna be moved out.
Yeah.
Because of stuff that happens all the time. So, that's another thing that you should consider into.
So maybe giving yourself like a pad. So if it does cost $10,000 for the repairs, 10-15% additional on top of that, saved.
Time with that time as well. You want it to be done in a month. Maybe estimate for a month and a half.
Okay.
For anything that's gonna pop up and everything. So
so that's Capex, or whenever you purchase it, it's Capex, and you have to account for time for your holding costs. Capex for that time. You have to have Capex as well for your expenses as well, and problems happen.
Yeah.
So in particular on this particular flip, there weren't any cabinet drawers in the kitchen, and then they had all kinds of had all kinds of issues on for the plumbing, right? Remember when he had to get the plumber? He had to go up to the roof.
That was already after. Yeah, that was
afterwards. But we didn't know about it.
Yeah, but we didn't know exactly. That was already after it was done. We had got new tenants in there, and had put it in the market. So but it was stuff that that happens when you own when you own properties. You know?
Okay.
Can we put before and after pictures on links down below or something?
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Check up there.
All I see is George. I don't know what to do with my
I
hands.
No.
What do I do? Okay, so that was a good experience for us actually. So
Yeah.
What did you take away from the experience that would help you with the next one?
I think the biggest is actually what I was just said at the end is Capex.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
expect the unexpected, man. It's gonna happen. So if you prepare yourself for that,
So
ge-
is Capex basically that? It's
It's the unknown.
yeah, the
Yeah,
unknown,
it's the unknown.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, so like 15-20% extra on the repairs that you're estimating if you have
Yeah.
that, and time as well.
Yeah.
If you add those into the calculation, and you know what your profits are going to be and all that stuff, it's gonna be a lot much better.
okay.
So on that particular project, we took down the property ourselves. We had a third-party investor that that created a note, and third-party investor. They lent us the money for the repairs.
Okay.
Right. So total repairs that we put into it was probably close to 20,000.
Yeah.
Physical repairs were about 15, but there was another $5,000 that we just didn't like.
Yep.
How, we had it. We had the money backed up for it for Capex, but we still had to spend it, and it was either holding or it was because of something
Yeah.
that needed to be repaired prior to the tenants coming in and so on. So
Yep.
when we looked at the deal, the thing that caught my eye was when we fixed it up, and the good thing that I took from that property was when we actually fixed it up, before we actually sold it, we had money coming in. That was great. Like
Yeah.
we rented out the 3 units, and then immediately money came in, and it
Yeah.
helped offset the cost for the payments and
Yep.
for other things. So
And you put that
yeah.
was at market rents then at that point because of the
Yeah, by the time
improvements?
we did it, yep.
Yep.
Right. And
Yeah.
so since it's a triplex, it's viewed a little differently from an appraisal view. Like one thing is what the property is actually worth, but since it's an income producing property,
Yeah.
the money that it actually produces determines its actual value.
Yeah.
Right. So we could have easily sold it. And so you want to go over the sale numbers,
yeah.
right? So based off of our values, we were getting that it could sell at 325 if it was in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't make it pristine condition. We made it good enough so where it's usable, accessible, it was clean
Livable.
and livable,
Yeah.
and the people would be comfortable in their surroundings. So
Yeah, yeah.
we got it to where the level of the market is. And so
Yeah.
when we did that, we ended up getting a couple of offers. We posted up at 285?
285.
285, yes. So we got it at 285, and we ended up getting a contract at
It was
how
well,
much?
we ended up selling it for 250.
250, yeah. So
Yep.
basically 140. We were into it for 170 total,
Yeah, we
and
sold it
then
for
250. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of our numbers, right?
And
so
that was
off
the
of it.
final number. 250 was the final
Mhm.
number.
That was the final number. So,
Yeah.
and it was just a cool learning experience.
Yeah, it was.
It was awesome. We learned a lot of what
What to do, what not to do.
what not to do, who to trust, who not to trust.
Get
and-
your
right.
and I know, and when you're starting, just one thing I would say is get ready to get your hands dirty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Once you've done quite a bit of flips and you're out there and now you've had excuse me, you've had your set contractor that you use all the time that you don't have to do that. I would say, just be ready because, you want to get that place sold and you'll do whatever you got to do to get it sold.
Yeah. You want to meet your time guidelines. You
Yep.
want to meet.
Right. And what's funny was when we bought the property and we automatically started doing the cleanup, they filled up the bin, right, full of the trash that was in there, and they took it away, cleaned it, brought in a new bin, and then we looked at the trash that we had left over. And then the bin got full again.
Yeah.
We were like, wait a second, what happened here? So it seems like somebody else had put, like
Oh, yeah, they
neighbors had put
Oh,
thrown
they
in
started-
trash
There was a
inside of
big
our
ol-
bin.
There was a big old couch in there.
Yeah.
That wasn't ours. That
Right.
was in there. Oh yeah. People
Yeah.
just went in there and started throwing
Right.
stuff in there.
We
but,
weren't expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't expecting that, but I'm sure that's a common
Yeah.
stuff that happens when you.
We'd seen a post from another wholesaler recently.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. And then
But,
also
yeah, it does happen.
there was a somebody had broken into the
Oh,
property
yeah,
as
we
well.
got
The
wow.
squatter. We had a
We had
squatter.
some squatters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened too.
One of the side windows under the carport was broken, or he broke it or whatever. Came inside and then just opened it up or whatever. We had to get him out and stuff. So
Yeah.
So expect the unexpected
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
oh wait, how about what's his name? Bob?
Bob.
You don't even remember Bob. So Albert, right? Dude, guy has a heart of gold. Right? So there's this guy that comes off of the street and he's like, he one of the contractors is like, yeah, well, he's been here the last couple of days, seeing if you can help him out for work and if there's something that you can do to help him out. And the guy said that he was homeless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Younger
So
kid, man, yeah.
right, young kid, and so then, Albert goes, yeah, go ahead and start cleaning up the yard and start doing a couple of minor items.
Yeah.
And the kid did it, right? So came over the next day. Albert paid him, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, can I stay in that room?
Yeah.
Can I stay in that room that's empty?" And we were like, "No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
We're still repairing it. I
Yeah.
understand you're homeless, right? But we can't take that
Yeah,
liability right now, especially since it's being under construction, right? So fast forward 3 days down the road, right? And we made the assumption that the contractor was kind of supervising him.
Yeah.
Kind of supervising him, and then
Yeah.
the contractor calls us up and he's like, "Hey, this guy's inside of that unit." And we're
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?"
And he brought another, brought another person too.
Into
Oh
the
with a dog.
right, and so in unit 2 and unit 3 now all of a sudden are occupied by these guys,
Yeah.
right? And we never gave them any permission to be in the property or anything like that.
had to
and
call
so,
the
yeah,
cops.
we had to call the cops,
The
and,
contractor didn't want to go back there because the guy had a dog,
and it was a pit bull. And
yeah.
it was just,
So I was like, okay, cool. So we called the cops. George met me there, and then they got the guy. Well, the guy was outside. I mean, his dog was outside. So I don't know what the guy was thinking. It was an older guy. He had a dog, and then cops get there.
Yeah.
And they take him in and whatnot. Like we told him, look, we don't want to. He's got a dog. If he gets arrested, the dog's gonna have to go to the pound. We're gonna have to call the pound. Like, just let him go, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they were arresting him. Letting him get all his stuff so he can leave. And I just said, hey, when we checked the other unit, and I said, so I went to go get the keys, and somebody all of a sudden opened the door from the inside. From the other unit. It was that kid that I had told, don't bring anybody here. You can go ahead and work here and everything. And he brought somebody in. He had brought that guy.
Yeah.
The guy. And I'm like, oh my god. Like,
So
after that, I was like, no more. I can't.
lesson learned.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an experience.
Yeah, it was.
It was an experience.
Heart of gold, he said.
Right, exactly. No, exactly. He tried it, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but
Yeah.
it was one of those things, he took advantage of the
Yeah,
situation, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
right?
it
It's
is.
unfortunate, and it just didn't work out. Had he kept to his word,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
we-
he
you
probably
know,
would have. Yeah, exactly. But
we'd have
it is
kept
what
on
it
going.
is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So
Part of the process, I guess.
yeah, and then
But that was fun.
yeah,
And actually, we have 3 more flips going on right now, and we'll let you guys know later on how those
The
turned out.
progress of it and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're actually you're in one of the flips.
Yes.
already.
Yeah, he got you as an
Get my
investor.
hands dirty.
Exactly.
Yeah. So get ready to get your hands
soon to
dirty,
be.
bro.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. You got to
Okay.
go scrub and clean. And get it.
Alrighty.
Give me a monkey wrench. We'll get it going.
All right.
Give me a monkey wrench. Whatever it is.
Right on.
But it's fun. It's an experience. It's it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So it was.
Cool.
I'm glad for the experience in one.
Yeah,
one.
definitely
and
me too.
It's one of those things. I look at the glass half full or whatever. But we learned. We
Yeah.
made money.
Yeah, definitely made money.
We made money. We learned, and we had experiences that we didn't experience. And then on top of that, we networked as well.
Yeah.
So we found another investor
Yeah,
that
investor.
bought
That
bought 5 units right down the street.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fix them up and this and that. And so we made a contact there, and he's like, yeah, if you find any other ones in the
Yeah,
area,
let
let
us
me know.
know.
I'll buy them off of you. Okay, great. So it's one of those things, like everything that, even though all of these negative things have happened, we were still pushing through, and it still came out on top. So we understand it's not going to happen every time. We get that.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
All of a sudden tomorrow the market could change and we could be out, but that experience is invaluable because now we know how to handle it.
Yeah,
going forward.
exactly.
So what are some takeaways from, I guess, the fixing and flipping, from just the conversation we had just today? Like, what are some takeaways from it?
I would say be prepared
Be prepared.
for the unexpected.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me.
Do your numbers. Be more conservative than you think.
Okay.
Yeah, just be a little more conservative. We've talked. We
Yeah.
actually spoke, because of that unknown factor for quite a bit on this podcast. But just be a little more conservative. If you think that it's going to take you 4 months to sell a property, put in 6 months.
Yeah.
If you think that your repairs are going to be 15 grand, well, put it 17. Right, little things like that. Right.
Yeah, those are gonna help out because
yeah,
at the end of the day, if you do it before and it costs less,
Great.
you win.
It's just part of your profit.
Yes, exactly. But if it does end up being more and more time and costing more, then at least you were ready for it.
Yeah, and one thing, don't go into analysis paralysis.
No.
Just if it looks good enough, do it.
Yeah.
You don't stay stagnant because
Don't overthink it. Like, if the deal makes sense,
Yeah.
right. On this particular deal, we had been looking for so as an example, I
yeah.
mean, we were looking for properties for a year and a half, and looking for a fix and flip, and we look at properties every single day. So I want to say we look at maybe 20 different properties.
Because we wholesaled properties before that. Too.
So we would look at 20 different properties every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as this one came out, like the numbers stood out, like everything. It just because of the price point of where it was at, everything stood out to say go, just go. Because we didn't even look at the house.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't even look at the house. So just based on, we were like, oh, it's a triplex. Here's the square footage. Here's the square footage, and here's the area. Based off of that price point, we were like done.
Yeah.
Because even if we had to go in $50,000 on our repairs and our holding costs, it still made sense.
Yeah, exactly. We got it way below value.
Yeah, way below value.
Nice.
So price is key.
Cool.
So for people that are listening to this or watching this for the first time, with your experience of that flip, how is it different from what they see on TV? Like the Las Vegas flip guy, Armando in Texas, things like that.
Well, I think it all depends also because we were new to the fix and flip.
Yeah.
And that was our first project. So, we obviously with that project, we experienced a lot of the stuff that I'm pretty sure like Armando and all those shows, everything they probably experienced on their first flip.
Okay.
When they're on TV, it's not their first flip. It's not their first time.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not their first rodeo. So they already, by the time they're on TV, obviously they got a lot of capital and they have everything already. It's just basically
a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're just yelling at everybody
Right, for drama.
For drama, for the show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
and one thing that I want to point out as well is that they get paid to do those shows.
Yeah.
Right. So there's also more money that's coming in just for the show. So if they find a project,
Mhm.
they're accounting that into their
they could,
part of their project costs, right? No, not in reality.
No.
In reality, there's nobody on HGTV going, okay, smile for the camera.
Yeah.
The reality of it is you got to make it work on your own. Yeah. So, and whatever problems and challenges, one of the things that I had told Albert from the very beginning is like, no matter what happens throughout this transaction, at the very beginning of the transaction, we're going to find a way to make it work.
Yeah, of course.
And that mindset, mindset, right?
Yeah.
And the mindset carried us through because we had the challenges with the cleanup.
Yeah.
We had challenges with the repairs. We had challenges with the with some of the work that was being done.
Yeah.
We had challenges renting out the property throughout,
picking up the bin at the end,
and the bin, and then challenges in even selling it, right? Because we had a reduction on costs and stuff like that. So all of those challenges, though, we were able to make it through because we knew no matter what,
we got to make it happen.
We got to make it happen, and we both have that mindset. So going forward, same thing. Even with yours.
Yeah.
So,
So I don't know what you gotta do, Mark, but you gotta make it happen, bro.
right, you got to
Yeah.
make it happen. Exactly.
We're just gonna be in
No.
the background watching.
Right.
See how you're gonna make it happen.
Exactly. Good luck.
Just give me a hammer and a nail. I'll figure it out.
Wait, you said a monkey wrench, bro.
Okay. I'm changing tools. I gotta adapt to to what's going on.
All right, good job.
Cooler heads prevailed, right?
Yeah.
Any fighting? Was there
No.
conflict that you seen between each other as partners doing the fix and flip, things
No.
like that? 'Cause,
Not
I mean,
yet.
if you see it, well, if you are watching like these TV shows, that there ends up being
Yeah.
conflict between the contractor, yourself, all these other things.
Oh, stuff like that.
People
yeah.
get this delusion that it's not a smooth process, but it's not where everybody's at everybody's throat
Yeah.
trying to get a deal done. So what steps did you guys take to maybe not necessarily avoid that, but just basically keep the cooler heads prevailing? during the
With
process?
ourselves as partners, I think we were just from the beginning. We were on the right mindset. Is take it
Yeah.
down,
and get it done,
get it repaired.
whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it
yeah.
takes. Exactly. Get it repaired and then put it on the market.
And then how about yourselves with your contractor,
Eh,
contractors?
with that contractor, a couple little things. Nothing major.
Yeah.
We didn't get to choose the paint, which
Yeah.
that was what bothered me. I'm like,
Yeah,
we hired him and he automatically started painting.
painting it. Yeah.
Luckily, the paint was not
It not
wasn't
bad. Yeah.
but one of those details, right? We're
Yeah.
brand new.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm going to start the work on Monday, and then, okay, who
Yeah.
chose the paint?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
little things like that. But like I said, I mean, some of the things are like, oh no, well, we can't do this because we can't just do this. We gotta repair this before we even do that, and that wasn't calculated into the expenses.
Okay.
And it's like, well, isn't that your job to know that stuff? So you do give us a final number, and we're not doing this. But unfortunately, like I said, you gotta be prepared for that stuff.
right. And the reality was we both agreed on that contractor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not my fault or
Oh, no.
his fault or anything like that. Now we're already into it. We already chose the contractor. We're beyond that.
Yeah.
Now we just got to fix the issue.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, okay, how long is it going to take to move forward?
Yeah.
Because that was the whole goal. Is like, okay, so we're going to grab this property. Eventually, we had a couple of different exit strategies. We ended up settling on selling it, but the whole point of it is, okay, how do we move forward, right?
Yeah, let's
Any
get it
issue that
done.
came up, okay, let's fix it, move on.
Yeah.
Fix
Yeah,
it, move on.
yeah,
Fix it,
yeah.
move on.
Yeah, you
And
don't
that's-
dwell on it. I mean, you dwell on it, it's just
Yeah.
it doesn't help anybody.
Right.
No.
Exactly. We can't go. Whose fault is it?
No, it
It
doesn't matter.
doesn't
Just get
solve
it
the
done.
problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Getting
help
any
the situation.
getting in a heated argument with any of your partners isn't
No.
going to solve,
No.
whether it be your contractor, whether it be your business partner, whether it be.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
one thing for someone that is going to be jumping in. You're watching this years from now or whatever. Keeping a cooler head
Yeah,
will help you
definitely.
get through the deal that much smoother.
Yeah.
Now you guys mentioned evictions. How did you handle that? Or
Well,
maybe not. Yeah. How did you handle it? Maybe give some advice for someone who's gonna have to go through that also.
And I guess that is what it's an eviction. What we did. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I see eviction like a bad thing, but it, we just we
You
met
asked
with
the
them.
tenants.
Yeah,
you
we
gave them their 30-day notice.
Yeah, we gave them the
Yeah.
30-day plus notice.
Yeah.
So let me just start
ahead.
from the beginning. So yeah, we had to evict the people that are in there,
Yeah.
but we're not. I don't want to make us look like bad guys. They were living.
No,
in,
I didn't-
they
yeah,
were
I didn't mean it that way, but-
understood. But also,
Yeah.
anybody listening to this is going to be like, wow, what a bunch of a-holes. They just kick people out.
This is part of the
It doesn't-
business. Folks.
Yeah, it
Well, I
is.
understand, but there's a reasoning behind it, right?
Yeah.
So it seemed like they were hoarders, right? So they couldn't walk around so the back two units, they couldn't walk around in it.
Yeah, that guy.
There was health and safety hazards there. They should not have been living there.
Yeah.
So that's one of the major issues. Like that inside of the front houses, inside of the front, there was probably an infestation of roaches. Like you can't have that inside of their kitchen, right?
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of roaches. So
Yeah.
it really bad. living situations.
Okay.
So that it was a really, really bad living situation. And I can't. If you look at the photos, hopefully we'll be able to post them. If you look at the photos, you'll be like, oh yeah, I see why.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's actually better for the tenants that are in there to find another place to live because that place was not inhabitable.
Yeah.
It just you can't live there.
Yeah.
it just seems like the previous owners, they had it for a long time. They didn't really care anymore.
Yeah.
They
They were just collecting their money.
Yeah, they was, exactly. And even though they were below market rents, way below, it's understandable why, because they were just
There's no way.
that was a mess. It was like God. Yeah, the guy in the person in the back in the duplex was renting both duplexes because on one duplex the shower didn't work, and then on the other one something didn't work, so he had to use both duplexes too.
Mm.
So and the owner obviously was just like whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So how did you handle it?
nothing. I mean, we spoke to them. We let them know, you know, that there were too many safety
You were
hazards.
open and forward with them.
Oh yeah, of course,
Of course.
Okay.
And we told them, you know, we're not just gonna evict you. You know, here's we're giving you. You know, if we got it at the beginning of at the middle of the month, you know, we did actually get a month and a half to move
Okay.
out. So we give everybody more than enough time.
Yeah.
And that's time that we ourselves have to calculate into our expenses.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, we always give everybody. We don't just ever just kick anybody out. Of
You
course
didn't-
not. No,
You're
no.
not.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
not-
out on
that's
the
not the
street.
way.
You gotta
No,
go.
we get, you know, most of the times it's more than 30 days because I'm personally myself, I don't give them the 30-day notice until the before the first day of the month.
Okay.
So before the first day of the month, I give them their 30-day notice till the end of the month. So if I get the property in the middle of the month, they have
Yeah.
those 15 days still, and then plus their 30 days that we give them.
Right. So one of the things Arizona laws here are favorable, right, to our setup here.
Okay.
So here it's just a 30-day notice, and then after the 30 days, if for any reason they don't oblige to it, then all of a sudden they get a 5-day notice, and then they're we just go to the sheriff's office and they'll evict.
Okay.
It's not a difficult process. I know other states have all kinds of different legal issues in regards to that, right? So, but here it's favorable. So that's kind of how it is. When we got the property, we had the conversation with them, and we told them, look, do you think that this is a good place to live? Right? They're like, yeah, the owner never repaired any of the items that I needed on the house. Well, how long ago was that? That was like 10 years ago. Well, okay, so right, based off of just even the conversations, this is look at what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Would you live here? And the answer always came back like, no, I wouldn't. Right? Okay, so then let's find you a different spot, or let's we're gonna fix this up. And so at this point in time, you're aware that this is not a place that would be suitable for where you should live.
Yeah.
Let's make progress towards fixing that.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, let's wind it down.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, Mark. Just kidding.
Until next time on Money Making Money
Are we
Podcast.
doing the sign off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what? No. Oh, am I? I'm asking. No. Okay. So brought to you by Cash Now Homes. Buy or sell your home fast and sell your house in less than 7 days. Call 602-975-3920 or go to cnhphoenix.com, and we're making your home goals possible. The Expanse Real Estate Team, looking for your next dream house to buy, sell, or contact the Expanse Real Estate Team at gmail.com. If you're looking for a studio or to record a podcast, stand-up act, write a joke, or special social media, contact Absurd Broadcasting at gmail.com for special prices and to schedule.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. Mahalo.
Mahalo.